Welcome into Financial Focus, brought to you by the best of the best in financial services, as named by the readers of the Lake City Reporter. 9 straight years and running, the team from GulfCoast Financial Services, and founder and CEO John Kuykendall here with us as always, keeping us financially focused and on track toward achieving those financial investment and retirement goals. We always appreciate the time and the insight, John. Today, talking about the things that people do that leads to success in retirement. So what are some of the secrets? What are the things that we need to do? Or maybe some of the things that we may be overlooking that will need to be addressed to lead to that success?
Well, that's right, Peter. People have getting ready for retirement or in retirement. There are certain things that we need to do to get ready. And one of the things is that, what we've always said on this show over and over again is we need a budget. People going into retirement need a budget. They need to know how much they're going to spend on food, entertainment, and then they need to have a budget for incidentals or wants. So I need a budget that shows my needs and then shows my wants. And then I need to be able to live on that budget so I can project the income that I'm going to need. I think we have to start with the budget.
The budget, John, living below your means, right? Essentially is whatever we have for income coming in, we have to dedicate a part of that toward going to pay ourselves in the future when the income won't be coming in. And the only way that we can do that is to live below our means and understand where our money is going.
Well, that's it. We need to make sure that we live below what we have. I thought it was interesting, Peter, there was a study on the national study on millionaires, and 93% of them still use coupons. Now, they didn't get to be a millionaire by spending all their money. They were wise, they invested it, they live within their means, and then they're able to spend some discretionary income because they have it. It's not like, they're living above their means and then having to pay credit cards and everything else.
Well, John, your list also indicates how much of that budget should be allocated toward paying our future selves and building up that retirement nest egg. You've benchmarked invest 15% of household income in retirement accounts. I think a lot of us may be falling short. Maybe there are some of us out there that are far surpassing that, but 15% is the milestone, is the benchmark, the measuring stick that you believe will help lead to those goals and the financial success in retirement?
Yeah, I think we have to put up a good percentage of what we make, because while we're earning it, Peter, while we have a steady paycheck, we need to be budgeting and putting up as much as we can. And certainly 15% is a milestone that we need to reach. I don't think that the majority of Americans are really saving that much, because, we're living way beyond our means. We're living really well today. But what we don't understand is that in the future, we're not going to have that paycheck coming in. We're going to have to live on the money that we set aside. And so that 15% that we're setting aside is a good milestone for us to reach so that we can build up as much as we can and invest it. And as you know, with dollar cost averaging and compound interest, we just get to have that much more return in the market.
John, number 4 on the list was have a long-term vision for investing. And I certainly understood the importance of that. I guess my question when I read through these items that lead to a more successful retirement is that, does that long-term vision need to continue to change and evolve? In other words, for a 30-year-old, long-term vision is that retirement milestone, maybe 55 or 60, but for somebody who is 55, 60, doesn't the horizon need to continue expanding?
Well, yeah, Peter. I mean, we still have to invest. We still have to be in the market, as I like to say, because we can't afford to be so conservative that we're not getting any return on our money. But at the same time, we need to be a little bit more conservative based upon our risk and and our tolerance and where we are in our retirement planning process. So what we're doing when I see that, what I'm thinking is that, I'm taking a long-term approach that says that when I'm younger, I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive than maybe when I'm older. But at the same time, I'm not trying to time the market by buying and selling constantly. And I'm not listening to my neighbor who's telling me that I need to get into uranium because uranium was up yesterday. I think we need to have a plan, and it needs to be based upon our own risk tolerance and our own situation.
So a couple more items on the list, John, I think hopefully self-explanatory, but keep your hands off of your 401k. Unfortunately, people have tended to use that account like a piggy bank. That is not the purpose. It should not be the way that you treat that. Hands off the 401k, keep those contributions going in. Money should not change direction until we are retired, and stay away from get rich quick schemes. John, when we fall for the get rich quick schemes, often the opposite ends up happening is we get broke quick, right?
Well, that's right, Peter. The thing is that there is conservative long-term investing that we need to do, and we don't need to be trying to follow every trend and everything. I think back to the time that I sold some property, and I was in a syndicate with a couple of other people, and I had an accountant who called me one day and said, "Look, I know you got that money. Why don't we tax shelter it and we'll put it into oil wells?" Well, Peter, we drilled the first well, and they called me and they said, "Hey, look, we hit oil. We're doing real well." Um, you know, I said, "Well, can I go buy my Cadillac?" And they said, "Oh, sure, go buy it." So I didn't hear anything from them. And pretty soon I got a call that said, "Hey, look, we were drilling and we drilled too deep. So we got into salt water, but we're going to drill a second well. And we've got gas on that, or natural gas. And so, that's going to produce some money for us. So don't go buy the Cadillac, but would you like to give another 25,000?"
Ooh.
And so, I kind of declined graciously. And as it turned out, I ended up getting about $10 a month for 3 years, and had to write off the rest of the investment because it was a total shamble. So that's an example of me trying to do something that I wasn't comfortable with to begin with, didn't know anything about, but I was trying to get a quick rich scheme and also do a tax shelter. So sometimes when we try to avoid paying taxes, or we try to make, the quick dollar, we end up getting hurt both ways. I did get a tremendous tax write-off, but I also lost all my investment.
Yeah, getting a tax write-off for losing money isn't necessarily the way that I want to go with getting the tax write-off there, John. And I understand it works that way, but that is not the most beneficial way to plan for our future. Several items here to sort of round out the list, John, and I think they all sort of go hand in hand, but successful people, or people in order to be successful in retirement, have a plan, update it when they need to, work together with their spouse if they're married, and then also work with an investment professional and meet regularly with that investment professional. That's part of updating the plan.
I think I wish more of our clients and more of the people that we deal with would actually involve their wives more. We try to involve the spouses in all of our meetings because we really want them to know where they are, what we're doing, and to have an idea in the event of a loss, they understand where they are financially, and I think that helps. And so we need to include them. I also read in this study of millionaires that 68% of all millionaires use a financial professional. So even that, they're not trying to do it alone. And it's been proven in study after study that the returns are better if you use a financial advisor over the long haul. And so I think that having a financial advisor to work with you, and in our case, getting that financially focused income plan so that we can help you with your income, help you taxes, Social Security, Medicare, walk you through that retirement process, that you'll be up a lot better in the long run by having that behind you.
That is that written plan for your retirement and financial future. And that is a plan, ladies and gentlemen, that can be updated on an ongoing and continued basis throughout retirement. But you've got to have a roadmap and some guidelines to get from where you are now to where you want to be in the future. Make sure you're targeting and heading in the right direction in order to achieve the objective and the goal in the future. That's what the financially focused written retirement plan can help you achieve and accomplish. And if you would like to take a look at your current accounts, your investments, the IRAs, the 401ks, the Social Security, the brokerage accounts, the stocks, bonds, mutual funds, bring them all together into the financial picture to give you a snapshot of where you are now, and then talk about how each one of those will work in tandem, in coordination, to help you achieve your goals into the future. Pick up the phone and give a call, because that's the true value of the program, is that John Kuykendall and the team there at GulfCoast Financial Services do offer a complimentary review, that retirement planning strategy session, and to put together for you and with you that financially focused written retirement plan. 386-755-9018, 386-755-9018, 386-755-9018. And John, sort of circling last things first and first things last, is that those that are successful in retirement understand that their income is their biggest wealth building and wealth preserving tool.
That's right. I mean, our income is all we're going to have, and we have to make sure that we maximize our returns as much as we can, in order to, one, sleep at night, but also to have that income coming in. And Peter, right now is an excellent time for us to work on cash flow, because with interest rates up and the way that it's going, the 4% rule all really kind of works right now, because the 3-year fixed indexed annuity, our fixed annuities, are like 5.5% today. So that is a great way that what we need to do is sit down and strategize on our income cash flow, so that we can make sure that we're pulling out what we need to pull out.
Well, again, if you have questions, if you would like to look at cash flow rates, which are very attractive, very advantageous right now, if you'd like to look at interest rates on the more conservative side of your portfolio, or how to manage even the more aggressive side of your portfolio appropriately, take a look at everything and bring it all together. That is what the financially focused written retirement plan will help you do. And John Kuykendall and the team there at GulfCoast Financial Services there to help you put that together. 386-755-9018, 386-755-9018, 386-755-9018. I like that last point, John, because I'm 44. I'm in the accumulation phase. I could not invest and accumulate without an income first, right? That's what supports the investments. But even once individuals get to retirement, you've talked about this often, is that if they want to continue to invest, that's just fine. That is something that is absolutely appropriate and, in fact, necessary. But whatever the income is that they can rely on, that's what's going to allow for the investment to continue and to be able to weather ups and downs in the market. And we're almost certain to see both over our retirement.
Well, that's right, Peter. That's why we have to have as I call it, the bucket approach. We have to have a bucket that will give us predictable, sustainable income to meet all of our expenses, our needs, not our wants. And then we have a growth bucket that we use for our incidentals, our emergencies, and for the things that we want. And so as long as we keep that cash flow going, because, during retirement, we are our cash flow. We're working, our labor is what keeps us going. But in retirement, as I told a good friend of mine, he called me one day and he said, "Okay, I'm retired now. How am I supposed to live?"
Yep. Well,
and I said, "Well, we're going to live on what you've saved, and we're going to work on drawing that out so that it lasts as long as you live." And that's what a lot of people don't understand. They are their pension when they retire.
Again, we need to understand not only that we've got a finite amount of money on the day after we retire and an unknown duration of time in order to make that money last, but how to effectively and efficiently, durably and dependably generate an income to live off of from that lump sum. That's what the financially focused written retirement income plan is all about. And if you'd like to get that put together, visit gulfcoastfinancial.net. You can find some fantastic resources and a library of educational content there. But the true value, give a call now and set up a time, a conversation or a consultation with John Kuykendall and the team there at Gulf Coast Financial. It's 386-755-9018, 386-755-9018, 755-9018, or GulfCoastFinancial.net. And if and when folks drop by, John, you've got copies of your book there. Quitting is for winners, but retirement's not for wimps.
Retirement's not for wimps. I can tell you that. Getting old isn't easy. Learning what you need to do in retirement's not easy. We've already been there. We've done it ahead of you. This is what the book's all about.
Well, if you would like a copy, stop by Gulf Coast Financial or give a call, 386-755-9018. John, always appreciate the time here on the program.
Thank you, Peter. Great to be here. Have a good week. We'll see you next one. Hey, if you'd like a copy of our new book, Quitting is for Winners, but Retirement's Not for Wimps, I encourage you to click the link below and get your copy today. Hey, we like it when you listen to the show, but we like it better when you like, share, subscribe, or feel free to leave a comment.
Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and tune in for more financial focus by visiting GulfCoastFinancial.net. The information presented on this program is provided for informational purposes only, without warranty of accuracy, completeness, or suitability for a particular purpose. This program is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, legal, or tax advice. This information is general in nature and not specific enough to be construed as advice. You should not make any decision based on the information presented on this program without independent consultation with an appropriately licensed professional or competent advisor. Investment in securities or the market involves a potential risk for loss of principal. Trading, therefore, may not be suitable for all listeners. Annuity guarantees are based solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing company. Withdrawals of growth from annuities may be taxable as ordinary income in the year it is taken. Individuals should review contracts for specific details of the product's features and costs. Early withdrawals may subject the owner to penalties, fees, or taxes. John Kuykendall is registered with and securities are offered through Kovac Securities Inc., member FINRA SIPC, found online at www.kovacsecurities.com. Advisory services are offered through Gulf Coast Financial Services Inc., a registered investment advisor in Florida. Gulf Coast Financial Services Inc. is not affiliated with Kovac Securities Inc. or Kovac Advisors Inc. Past performance is not indicative of future results. All investing involves risk. Investment decisions should be based on your own goals, time horizon, and tolerance for risk. Due to various factors including changing market conditions and/or applicable laws, the content may no longer be reflective of current opinions or positions.